Nick Joaquin.
It's a hot summer morning. Doña Lupeng awoke feeling faint with the heat, a sound of screaming in her ears.
We're going to Grandpa's house!
I'm so excited!
Oh,
Yay, we will go!
In the dining room, the three girls, already attired in their holiday suits, were at breakfast and came crowding around her, talking at once.
How long have you slept, Mama?
Are we going now? I'm excited to go to Grandpa's house!
Look, your father has a headache or so am I. So if you don't be quiet this instant, no one goes to grandfather.
Lupeng went to Amada's room.
Senora!
Have you been beating Amada again?
Oh no, I have not touched her.
Then why is she screaming? Is she ill?
I don't think so. You can go see yourself. She's inside.
Okay.
What is this, Amanda? Why are you still in bed at this hour and in that posture? Come and get up! You should be ashamed! Tell me, Antoy, has she had been to the turret?
Yes, Senora. Last night.
But I forbade her to go. And I forbade you to let her go.
I could do nothing. It's the day of Saint John. The spirit is in her. She is the Tadtarin. She must do as she pleases. Otherwise, the trees would not grow. The trees would bear no fruit. The river would go no fish. And the animals will die.
I did not know that your wife was so powerful, Antoy.
At such time, she is not my wife. She is the wife of the river. She is the wife of the crocodile. She is the wife of the moon.
On their way to grandfather's house,
How can they believe in such things? And you should have seen the Antoy. You know how the brute treats her. She cannot say a word, but he trashes her. But this morning, he stood as meek as lamb, while she screamed and screamed. He seemed actually in awe of her. Do you know? Actually afraid of her.
Look, girls! Here comes St. John! San Juan! 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 Saan ba now? Ako sinayang ka ng doon. We wait and wait. I did not see.
that afternoon, at the grandfather's, the young Guido presented himself, properly attired and brushed and scented. Doña Lupeng was so charming and gracious with him that he was enchanted and gazed after her all afternoon with enamored eyes.
I adore these old fiestas of ours. They are so romantic. Last night, do you know, I and the boys are waiting the woods to see the procession of Tatan. Was that romantic too?
It was weird. It made my flesh crawl. All those women in such a mystic frenzy. And she, who was the Tadtarin last night, she was a figure right out of her flamenco.
I fear to disenchant you, Guido.
But that woman happens to be our cook.
She is beautiful.
Our Amanda is beautiful.
She is beautiful. Like the tree you are leaning on. Is beautiful.
They were out in the buzzing orchard, among the ripe mangoes. Doña Lupeng seated on the grass, her legs stuck beneath her, and the young man sprawled flat on his belly, gazing up at her, his face moist with sweat.
Once upon a time, you women are supreme and women are slaves. The queen came before the king, and the priestess before the priest, and the moon before the sun. The moon, who is the lord of the woman.
Oh, you're mad, man. Is this how they talk to decent women in Europe?
Why are you so afraid, Lupeng?
I? Afraid and hopeful. My dear boy, you still have your mother's milk in your mouth. I only wish you to remember that I am a married woman.
I remember that you are a woman. Yes. And why did you stop being beautiful? Did you turn into some dreadful monster when you married? Did you stop being a woman? Did you stop being beautiful? Then why should my eyes not tell what you are just because you are married?
Ah, this is too much now.
Do not go! Have pity on me! I implore you.
No more of our comedy, Guido. And besides, we have these children gone too. I must go after them.
As she lifted her skirts to walk away, the young man, propping up his elbows, dragged himself forward on the ground and solemnly kissed the tips of her shoes. She stared down in sudden horror, transfixed, and he felt her violent shudder. She backed away slowly, still staring, then turned and fled toward the house. On the way home, that evening, Don Paeng noticed that his wife was in a mood.
Has young Guido been annoying you? Yes, all afternoon.
These young men today, what a disgrace they are. I felt embarrassed as a man to see him following you with those eyes like a whipped dog.
And was that all you felt, Paeng? Embarrassed? As a man?
A good husband has a constant confidence in the good sense of his wife.
Let's stop talking about it. My head is bursting with a pain.
When Don Paeng, having bath and changed, came down from the bedroom, he found her in the dark parlor, seated at the harp and plucking out a tune, still in her white frock and shoes.
Can you bear those hot clothes, Lupeng? And why the darkness? Order someone to bring light in here.
There is no one. They have all gone to see the Tadarin. Listen, Paeng. I want to see it too. The Tadarin, I mean. I have not seen it since I was a little girl. And tonight is the last night.
You must be crazy. Only low people go there. And I thought you had a headache.
But I want to go. My head aches worse in the house. Por favor, Paeng.
Told you, no. Go and take those clothes off. Woman, whatever has got into you.
Very well. If you do not want to come, do not come. But I am going.
I warn you, Lupe. Do not provoke me.
I will go with Amanda. Enter can take us. You cannot forbid me, Paeng. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not a child.
Yes, the heat has touched you in the head, Lupe. And since you are so set on it, very well. Let us go. Come, have the coach ordered.
The party begins. The woman started laughing and dancing with such joyous excitement. The people in the square and on the sidewalks, and even those on the balconies, were soon laughing and dancing too. Girls broke away from their parents and wives from their husbands to join in the orgy. Hands struck his face, and ravaged his hair and clothes, and clawed at his flesh as, kicked and buffeted, his eyes blind and his torn mouth salty with blood. He was pushed down to his knees, and half shoved, half dragged to the doorway, and rolled out to the street. He picked himself up at once and walked away with a dignity that forbade the crowd gathered outside to laugh or to pity. And Toy came running to meet him.
But what has happened to you, Don Paeng?
Nothing. Where's the coach?
Just over there. But your face is swollen.
No, this is just a scratch. Look at the senora. We were going home.
And when they were home and stood facing each other in the bedroom, she was as still as light-hearted.
What are you going to do, Rafael? I'm going to give you a whipping. But why? Because you behaved tonight like a lewd woman.
How I behave tonight is what I am. If you called it a lewd, then I will always a lewd woman. And whipping will not change me. Though you whip me till I died.
I want this madness to die in you.
No! You want me to pay for your bruises.
How can you say that, Lupe?
Because it is true! You have been whipped by the woman, and now you think to avenge yourself by whipping me.
If you can think of me,
you could think me a lewd woman.
Oh, how do I know what to think of you? I was sure I knew as I knew myself. But now, you are distant and strange to me as a female Turk in Africa.
Yet you would dare to whip me!
Because I love you! Because I respect you!
And because if you cease to respect me, you would cease to respect yourself!
Ah! I didn't say that!
Then why not say it? It is true, and you want to say it. You want to say it!
Why should I want to?
Because either you must say it or you must whip me.
No, I cannot whip you.
Then say it! Say it! Why suffer and suffer? And in the end, you would only submit.
Is it not enough that you have me helpless? Is it not enough that I feel what you want me to feel?
Until you have said it to me, there can be no peace between us.
I adore you, Lupe.
What? What did you say?
That I adore you. I adore you. I worship you. That the air you breathe and the ground you tread is holy to me. That I am your dog, your slave.
Then come, crawl on the floor and kiss my feet.
Lupin gave a look of success, streaming fluid and black in the white night where the huge moon glowed like a sun, and the dry air flamed into lightning, and the pure heat burned with the immense, intense fever of noon.